Hello and welcome again to the Cultural Awareness and Appreciation Infographic. Culture and identity. Culture refers to the values, beliefs, thinking processes, and behavior that are learned and shared by a group of people. It gives the group an identity, assures survival, and increases the sense of belonging. Identity is a person's definition of themselves. It is the frame of reference through which a person views himself. Language, social structures, gender orientation, and cultural patterns all work together to form identities. Culture and identity have a complex relationship. Cultural identity. When we unconsciously interpret and combine signals from our surroundings into our own identity, we establish a cultural identity. Your cultural identity is an important component of your personal identity and worldview, and it develops when you absorb, understand, and embrace, or reject the ideas, values, actions, and customs of the groups in your life. Cultural identity is also relevant because it determines how we understand and react to such circumstances, which can affect our overall success. A culture emerges whenever a group of individuals comes together to accomplish a common purpose. Whether the group is huge or tiny, beliefs, norms, values, and behaviors develop. What complicates things is that many of these distinguishing qualities are unsaid. Based on social cues, the group instinctively sets specific criteria for what is normal and acceptable. Then, as we continue to interact with the group, we grow to embrace these values as part of our cultural identity. Your identification with any number of groups or cultural patterns shapes important aspects of your cultural identity, some of which are assigned to you from birth by society, such as your family of origin, race, local community, geography, gender, religion, sexuality, generation, physical ability, nationality, language, culture and socialization. Culture is learned through socialization, which is the process by which we all are introduced and adjust to social standards from a young age. Socialization may be classified into two categories. Primary socialization occurs inside the family. By imitating our parents, we are trained to perform and avoid specific behaviors. Conditioning, through reward and punishment, strengthens our notions about what is right and wrong. Secondary socialization occurs in the broader world through different institutions that impact human behavior: school, church, the media, the workplace, etc. Cultural bias. Cultural bias occurs when a person is inclined to interpret a situation from their own cultural perspective. This can cause conflict and misinterpretation of situations. Ethnocentrism is the formal name for our culturally distorted worldview. It means we believe our cultural traditions and customs are the proper standards for other cultures to follow. We naturally consider our own culture to be the norm, and all other civilizations to be different. Relation between culture and language. Culture and language share human beliefs, realities, and acts within a social community. As a result, culture and language have a very strong connection. Language and culture go hand in hand, whether it's national folklore or everyday conversations. The non-lexical element of any culture's language is known as paralanguage. It's a wide term that includes aspects such as body language and voice tone or sound. If you're bilingual, you've probably noticed how your voice shifts when you speak in the different languages. You may also notice that your gestures or attitudes change as a result. Because paralanguage is culture-specific, communicating with people from other societies or ethnic groups risks misinterpretation if we overlook the larger cultural framework. Language changes often symbolize a culture's changing values. Language and culture are inseparably linked. You can't learn one without first understanding the other. Language is this way intertwined with all aspects of human life in society. And understanding the surrounding culture is essential when learning a language. Language also enables for the formation and development of cultural values and promotes social connections. Cultural identity is fluid and changes as we associate with different communities. Consider some of your childhood beliefs that have changed as you grew up. This occurs as a result of our exposure to new ways of thinking and as we incorporate whatever resonates with us into our cultural identity. It is important that you understand the impact of cultural influences and how they shape our worldview so that you can begin to recognize and question them in your own life as you make decisions about your future. Culture influences the way we think, feel, and behave. It shapes both our collective and individual identities. The ability to identify the various biases in our lives is the first step to understanding how our mental processes work. You are already one step closer to understanding how your cultural identity influences your decisions by simply watching this video. Well done.